Yeah, hi, this is Roy, your financial entrepreneur partner from Humanising Money Matters. The financial year is well and truly underway, and we've just hit the holiday season, and it's December 31 has just passed. So we're at the end of the second period for your second instalment, PLYG instalment tax requirement. Again, for the exercise, I'm going to assume that your profit from year one was $60,000, which is a tax for the annualised is around $11,000. So again, assuming that that $60,000 is relevant and assuming that you've made $15,000 profit, your obligation for the instalment tax will be around the $2,750 again. But once again, as I mentioned in my previous video, if your profit is tracking a lot lower or a lot higher, then please talk to your tax agent, because this is a really important thing to keep track of. Because if your profit is falling away, you're in a position where the tax office will allow you to vary your instalment to a lower level that will be more in line with the profit that you expect to have at the end of the financial year. And obviously the other way, if you're making more money, the tax agent, he or she may ask you to think about putting some additional money aside for tax, because the ultimate game is to make sure that you've paid enough tax or you have enough money set aside when you get to the end of the financial year, so you have no sort of horror stories to find an additional $5,000 or $10,000 tax if you really have shot the lights out. So it's really important you stay on top of keeping your records up to date and current, so that your tax agent, he or she, can review them at any time and give you some really good advice on how your business is going, the successful parts of what you're doing, and most importantly to give you some advice on how you're tracking for tax and so forth, because as I just mentioned, you don't want any nasty surprises at the end of the financial year. So just summarising, we're now halfway through the year, so we've assumed you've made $30,000 profit for the half year. You would have paid by now, if everything's on track, $5,500 in instalment tax. So you're covered for what your tax may be coming into the end of the financial year. But again, most importantly, if your overall profit, again just to summarise, is higher or lower than what your instalments have been calculated on, get to your tax agent and get his or her advice on how best to manage that obligation, so that your business doesn't suffer and you're not paying higher instalment tax where you don't need to, or perhaps plan for putting more aside when the tax, if your business is going really well and your profits are going to be far more higher than what your instalment tax is currently covering, which will mean more tax at the end of the financial year. But once again, this is information that's all freely available on the ATO website. But for specific advice, it's really important to talk to your tax agent, so he and she can give you more specific advice to your circumstances. But if you just want a general chat and some help around navigating and finding information, reach out. It's Roy, your financial entrepreneur partner at Humanising Money Matters.